Hello. We're at Devox France, and we continue our discussions with visitors and presenters at the conference. Today, we have a presentation about IT sponsorship and support for IT associations. So, my guest, Adrien Ramajon, is it correct?
Yes,
Ramajon.
Adrien Ramajon.
Oui, je suis francophone, but sometimes for me it's quite difficult.
Yeah.
So, my apologies, just in case.
No worries.
Okay,
My English is not really well too, so
Yep.
apologies for that.
So the history, which I totally share,
Yeah.
there are so many non-profit and open associations, whether they're open source or not in the
Yeah.
world, and not all of them are technical.
Yeah,
So
not a lot.
and many of them provide real value to
Yeah.
society. They need help, support, and one of the ways to contribute to these associations is to share your skills.
Yeah.
Obviously, in tech, we know quite a lot about IT, and there is quite a lot of opportunities to provide support from, let's say, helping with setting up collaboration tools like Google Workspace for non-profits, or just GitHub for cooperation, project management, Trello
Yeah.
boards. So all we like in IT, but all that is not quite trivial to actually get access to if you are an association. And also, there is quite a lot of special development. So I guess any association these days has a website. Sometimes
Yeah.
they have mobile applications. They need tools for
and
communication.
even database for some time. I work with one association which was processing some data to match some unemployed people and let them meet with some craftsmen in some spaces. It is a huge database to have relationship in between, to have their match to do, and they do not manage to really understand what is behind. And I spend I think 2 or 3 days to explain how the database works, and it was fun just because they just want to connect people on this kind of basis.
Yeah, definitely. All of us live in our own bubbles, so we assume that everyone knows how to use Slack, etc.
Yeah.
But apparently, it's not true.
No. No.
And my question to you is, how did you get to this domain? How you started contributing?
In my daily basis, I worked on retail, especially, and I wanted to go somewhere else where I can add some value. On Zeneca, they call members to work with Vendredi site web. It's a really good site web to match association with working people, and I found a project which want to allow some disabled mentally people to switch to place between the different homes they have in France, and to do that they have to bring all the file which how they behave, or what to do when they act as special, what are the medicine they should have at which time. And this is important, this is bureaucracy, this is hard for them to synchronize, and they just want to have a back office application to do that. It was beginning just by giving them a Canva, sorry, just to fulfill the different cases, like what is the purpose of the tool, which are the clients, who are the clients, and many cases like that. And after that, we go on the descriptions of different user story. They do not know anything about user story management, project management, or even a sprint or Scrum, or anything like that. And just that was very helpful for the organization also. And I will finish on that on the topic on that project. Asynchronous work is not their main domain. They're consistent every time on the duty with people, talking them face to face, and they do not approach asynchronous work with Slack or online contribution. They discover Miro. It was very helpful for them. Miro, sorry. Miro.
It's okay. I say Miro too.
Okay. Miro, and this was really helpful for us to work, because it is voluntary work. It is very asynchronous. So for us, it was really very helpful.
Yeah, I can share these experiences.
Yeah.
So in my case, I started actually in the sustainability domain. Then I spent most of the time helping open source organizations in software. So this doesn't count. But actually, when the war in Ukraine started, I started participating, helping to many open source associations
Yeah.
like OSCI, Open Source Intelligence, then refugee support, military support, etc.
Yeah.
And now I'm also one of organizers of Future Russia Switzerland.
Yeah.
I'm Russian, but at the same time, yeah, I'm rather on another side. And basically, what I discovered that there are many such associations that are desperately helping IT support. So for any who operates in this domain, yeah, if you know common project management tools, if you know GitHub, etc., you can definitely help.
Yeah, yeah. And also for that, for me and my company for now, it is important to let people just make some good around them, and this is important for me. I have an objective goal on my each week to help at least on 3 days by a year or more. I even do sometimes 1 month or 1 whole month to help an association. It's really grateful for our camera.
Definitely. What are the common tools you use for these projects? So, what would be the good starter tools for such associations that don't have much IT background?
So for the main part, of it, you can build some project with just a WordPress. It is kind of really efficient to have a demonstration with that and be efficient on that. But technical solution, final solution is not what what matter on this kind of act. For this kind of act, the goal is to help them to be autonomous because we cannot be here every time because we have to make money on the other days. And to do that, we have to provide them some collaboration tool like Miro or everything like that. Also, learn them how to manage some space on the Google Drive or anything like that, and organize them and just put a sheet or Excel for the roadmap. It is very project management project, but they at least in this kind of tool with this kind of tool, they get their vision and they maintain their goal to go further, go forward.
Yeah. And what was mentioning that while many of these tools are commercial, actually for non-profits, for associations, there are quite a lot of opportunities. There are organizations that provide support out of the box. So, for example, what we use in Future Russia Switzerland, we use Google Workspace. And basically, if you're a registered association, you can get it out of the box, basically with all capabilities like Google Docs, etc. What is everyone is familiar with to some extent, so it's helpful. And pretty much like that, so for many big vendors, there are support for open source projects or for associations, etc. We actually do it for Develocity too, and this is actually quite a good approach.
Yeah.
What I wanted to follow up from the conversation is about the technical choices do not matter. I would rather disagree because from my experience, there are actually two kinds of tools. There are tools which are called as code that we really like as engineers. So, for example, we know that you can take Jekyll or whatever to deploy your site to GitHub pages. Everything free, everything automated, everything is nice. But the problem is that almost nobody except engineers can use it, even that is quite trivial. So it's difficult onboarding. So what I noticed in many organizations that you should rather lean towards what you see, what you get tools. So there are site constructors like Wix or whatever. I'm not sure whether they have free tiers, but there are other solutions like Ghost for blogging, which definitely has free tier. And this is actually quite helpful for such associations. And another thing, of course, from my takeaways is that you should never self-host. So everything better to take a service, even if that doesn't connect well.
For me, for one of the projects, I just use WordPress because I was more skilled on that besides Wix. But at first, they use Wix on themselves. And because I do not have as much as flexibility as I want, I try to do something else with WordPress. Then I put them some automation to deploy it really quickly with some GitHub action I maintain on my side. But it's private one because I will maintain until they find some way to do otherwise. But yeah, there are technical points only IT engineer can do, and they must be a few. It was a mistake for me to go on WordPress and go on CI because now I know they will not evolve that further. But sometimes we can just help them to know how to use them if they are passionate.
Yeah.
After.
You are totally right. So, as you said, there should be a few engineers because in associations as an open source. Sorry, I keep trying to say open source associations because for me, the structuring of associations and nonprofits, real ones that do not depend on big funding, is super close to what open source is. So there are volunteers. Volunteers come and go. They don't always have enough expertise. So they usually use it also as a learning opportunity. And actually, if you want to ensure sustainability of your project in this domain, you actually have to set up your association for success by taking simple tools, documenting them properly. And this is actually quite a good stuff to always consider.
Just the dark side of that is that in open source projects, they are already trying to use technical tool, and open source is not in mind of associative people who work in them, and so it is difficult to bring them to GitHub and everything like that. Even a Miro account was a little strange for them because all they have are file written in some document somewhere, and that's all. And this is why I want to help. Where I want to help is there is some very great associations are really late, and this is kind of not fair because I work in retail. We have some very innovative and beautiful technologies. And when I saw some associations which do great things, they just have a stick to play and to have their work done. And this is really unfair for me. And I want to really create rebalance this kind of situation.
I totally support that. So associations definitely complicated topic. We haven't even touched the security topic, which is super valuable for many associations because there is still managing of money. Sometimes there is some security sensitive content, data protection, sometimes protecting people, for example, in political, humanitarian associations. Actually, you mentioned GitHub a few times. I also really like GitHub for project management, etc. And when I was submitting to the Vox Ukraine earlier last year, I actually submitted a talk on how you can use GitHub for project management in non-technical non-profits. So maybe I will do a talk out of that. But actually, right now, I'm on the fence because for the most pro associations, I would rather recommend using really simple tools. Not even boards, documents, basically as you said.
But it is really just with little word and little guidance, we can help them to make a very huge bounce on their maturity on a numeric point. And this is where I want to get. Many companies have the benefits of doing skill sponsorship pro bono, and when they do that, all the work is reduced. All the time worked by the company is reduced by the tax, and this is kind of better way to work for the benefits of the good, and that's all I want to say. We have to use that kind of.
I totally support that. actually many organizations, including Gradle, including most of companies in tech, they offer some days for social participation, contribution, local communities, etc. And you can also use it for volunteering, not just in tech and open source, but also in such associations that would really benefit from that. And as Andrea said, basically, there are so many opportunities that do not require too much time, and that would be really helpful. And also, there is actually quite a lot of communities, etc., that try to create frameworks for non-profit associations, prepare some guidelines, trainings, etc., on common tools. If you want to do that, if you want to make common tools we use in tech like Miro, Slack, simpler for such communities by documenting them, by writing them in non-technically friendly language, I think it would be a really good addition.
Yeah. For me, it is the third year I do that on usually the summer. I don't know why, but it is like that. This is where I get some time. I hope in many years I continue to do that and have some framework. I will publish it for sure, but have a framework to work with association quickly because just to onboard some association on digital skills, it's really hard. It keeps at least 1 or 2 days to just explain how it works. I hope I will have a framework to onboard them on 2 or 3 hours.
Yeah. So thanks a lot for contributing. Thanks a lot for working on what I would call volunteer productivity or so. It's also a nice domain. Remember that, there is developer productivity, but the productivity of your project, of your community depends not just on developers, but on many other roles where you can also help. And same for non-profits. So thanks a lot for Andrea for this discussion. I really appreciate that. And all the best. Thanks a lot for spreading the work at tech conferences. And see you soon. So thanks, everyone.
Thanks. Bye.
Yeah, bye.